been a long one with ups and downs, mostly downs from the perspective of DeWitt County board members and residents. At Monday night's DeWitt County Land Use Committee meeting, Zoning Administrator Liz Weichel received operation reports from Enel, which are supposed to detail curtailment violations Enel commits over a certain period, while residents have been noticing and posting videos of curtailment violations. Enel claims to have none.
So speaking about that, were you able to get their operational reports for April and May?
Yep.
Find violations?
No, I have exactly what they gave me. They gave me what they give me every month, and it says that they turned off. It says that they were at 0. It says that the National Weather Service notified them at a certain time, and then they turned it back on.
I believe I'd like to review those reports because I think on April the 1st, I know for a fact they were still operating 10 minutes after the alarm went out, and that was beyond what we set up for acceptable.
There's actual multiple videos on Facebook of it, at least April 2nd. There may be other dates, but people in different areas of the wind farm plot.
Committee Chair Buck Carter requested Weichel acquire more detailed operation reports for specific days correlating with the alleged curtailment violations.
We've got what I call an operational report, listed towers by number, time that they were turned off and turned on.
I have an old one of those like this,
Yeah.
but they told us they were not going to do that on the regular. That was just a courtesy that time. This is what we get now. So,
well, can we request those like that day?
Yes, I think, and that's why I say you have the dates.
yeah,
All the dates in April and May is on going off.
yeah, because I have
you
these.
need to make an official request for the operational reports for those days. Yeah, complete operational reports for every tower.
So that we can judge their compliance with it.
Because, I mean, they can say what they want to say, but most of us that either live in that area or in the area know they were still operating.
Yeah.
They didn't shut off.
While some committee members would like to judge compliance of each specific alleged violation, Board Chair Joe Whitty suggested against doing that at the request of State's Attorney Dan Markwell. He says not only would this be a lengthy process, but it is the responsibility of the zoning administrator and the State's Attorney to take action on these specific possible violations, not the Land Use Committee.
So what would we do if their report says that they shut it off, but there's video evidence that some of the towers were still going?
That would be up to you
Is
guys.
that a,
So just to chime in another 2 cents though, I think ultimately it's going to be Elizabeth that will have to review the report and any violations taken out from Mr. Markwell. I don't think, based on my conversation with Mr. Markwell, we shouldn't be getting into the details of determining whether there's violations or not. I agree that Elizabeth needs the tools and the report to be able to do that. So maybe that's something that we can take up if Mr. Chabot comes.
Well, the only way she can verify that is if she has the reports.
Right, so
she just can't if she's taking her word there for that report, I mean, that's the information she's getting. But as members of the board and the general public, we know different.
Yeah.
I think that's something that Elizabeth and Mr. Markwell kind of need to work through.
Yeah.
The ordinance and what enforcement mechanism is there. If it's insufficient with what we're getting back, then I think they need to take that up and not hash that out necessarily here. So so let me just, I think we can have that conversation, but just, I don't know of any other property that gets public meeting discussion. I think it's just something, for the zoning administrator to do her job. If she's not getting the reports, we'll support her in that. Maybe when they come later this month, if they come to the board meeting, we can.
Local Enel Representative Matthew Seville will attend this month's county board meeting to address the alleged violations. The busy summer travel season is kicked into high gear, and Clinton residents are being reminded of the Vacation Watch program offered through the Clinton Police Department. On the WHOW Morning Show Wednesday, Clinton Police Chief Ben Lowers told Regional Radio the Vacation Watch program through the Clinton Police Department is a great way to make sure your home remains secure while you're away.
Yeah, so a Vacation Watch program that we offer and have for decades. The Vacation Watch program, you call in to our non-emergency number at 217-935-9441. And you can let our dispatchers going to take you through kind of a brief questionnaire as to obviously the location, but the dates that you'll be away, and information about the property, who might be there, who might be checking on the property, who's allowed to be there, an emergency contact should we discover something out of the ordinary. But, different vehicles that'll be on the site, lights, things of that nature, contact numbers. And anyways, then at least once per shift, we have our officers go by and just kind of check those, pay a little extra special attention in terms of patrol, checking those vacation watch locations. So it's free service that we offer. We highly recommend it.
According to Chief Flowers, if you are not utilizing the Vacation Watch program, there are many things you can do to make sure your home stays secure while you're away. He says it starts with not advertising your absence on social media.
Some of the things that we also talk about when we talk about vacations is to not really advertise your absence. As before we got started, we were just talking about social media and whatnot, and being online and whatnot. We highly recommend that you don't share those photos and stuff. While it's exciting, while you can't wait to share and whatnot, we recommend that you don't share all those photos and your whereabouts until you get home. There's no, in today's world of social media and everybody talking about everything that they're doing, in real time, that there's no simpler way to advertise your absence from home than posting pictures of your vacation and things like that. So be cognizant of that. Other things that we recommend that you, especially if you're going to be gone for more than say a week, is having the mail stopped or having it picked up. Taking care of your lawn and outdoor flowers and things like that. A sure sign of somebody's absence is the mail piling up and the grass getting tall or different landscape not being watered, things of that nature. So keeping those things maintained, moving a vehicle around, turning the light on, turning the light off, things of that nature, just to certainly give the appearance that the location is occupied. So just some quick little tips on that.
Residents interested in the Vacation Watch program will be asked the obvious questions like their address, the dates of their absence, but the chief also says they'll want to know who has access to the home and what vehicle they drive.
They're going to be asked, obviously, the location, but the dates in which, the person's going to be gone, the dates of which they want it to be looked after. They're going to be asked about any key holders or contact information that might be locally. You set up, hey, we're going to be gone, but so-and-so's got a key to our house if it's needed. Vehicles that are on site, lights that we can expect to find on. A lot of times people will put their lights and things on a timer, which we think is a great idea. Basically just to know what we should expect when we go look at the house so that we will be able to recognize if something's out of order.
Gotcha.
Is the biggest thing. So, and then we also, even though they set those dates when they call and set it up, we do like them to call when they get home and let us know that they're home. It's not all that uncommon that people may stay an extra day or may come home a day or two early. And more than once we've gone to do a vacation watch and whoa, somebody, there's a car in the driveway and people are inside, normal course of their day. And oh, nope, we ended up coming home a couple days early. So anyways, those are things, nothing earth shattering, but a program that we're able to offer. And like I said, have for decades that I'm aware of, and just a good thing, it comes back to that small town living and being a good neighbor.
The chief encourages neighbors to look after each other throughout the summer, and if you're on good terms with those who live around you, it's always a good practice to ask them to keep watch of your home while you're away. Weldon Springs State Park will be a beehive of activity this weekend with several events going on. It's Father's Day weekend, so it's a free fishing weekend, says Patty Kinder with the Weldon Springs State Park Foundation. It's a perfect time for fathers and sons or daughters to try out fishing for the first time and participate in the annual Weldon Springs State Park Youth Fishing Derby.
The Father's Day Fishing Derby is also happening. 8:30 is registration. From 9 to, I believe, 11:30, the kids will be fishing. There's trophies to be given away. There's prizes for every child. So definitely come out. If you don't have a fishing pole, we have them for you. Come out and enjoy And hopefully it'll be a good day. But when it's cloudy, you do catch fish. Very good. We have a lot of families that come out. A couple of years ago, I had a mother come out with her 2 little ones. Her son was about 9, and then she had an infant. And the 9-year-old had never fished before. She bought him a pole. She was chasing the infant around. The little boy was trying to learn how to fish. We had the Boy Scouts are there to help. We had some of the DNR people there to help.
Sure.
So, and then other fathers, other people there, you know, moms are helping each other, and, you know, everybody's it's a nice community kind of time, you know, and it actually goes back for years. This is a free fishing weekend. For Father's Day, the state of Illinois does free fishing. Please look into exactly the days and times. I think it's Saturday through Sunday. It might also include Friday, but I'm not positive. So no license needed. And we will be at the boat dock for this. The concession stand is open.
The Daughters of the American Revolution, or DAR, are hosting a Flag Day ceremony at Veterans Point at the park. Edith Brady Lunny with the Clinton DeWitt County DAR chapter says it also coincides with their monthly meeting.
Well, the DeWitt Clinton chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution are going to be hosting a community Flag Day at Veterans Point at the park. And this is a day to recognize our flag that was adopted in 1777 by the Second Continental Congress. So later it was adopted as an official Flag Day for the nation. So it just so happens this year that our monthly meeting falls on Flag Day. And we usually meet at Weldon Springs in the month of June. So we thought, why don't we put the two together and have a community Flag Day ceremony. And we're going to be honoring 2 people with certificates for their flag displays. The first person is Elsie Volker, who people will know from Clinton. And the second one is Sherry and Eric Followell, who live in DeWitt. And both of them have very nice flag displays. And of course, Elsie has been known for years in Clinton. She was the wife of Darwin Volker, who was the head of our local AMVET. So we're really happy to be honoring them. And then we're going to have a little luncheon for the veterans afterwards at the Chautauqua picnic shelters. We will have our flag ceremony at Veterans Point, and then we'll move over to Chautauqua for the picnic. Now, there's a 30% chance of rain. We've ordered otherwise, but we'll see what happens. But if it rains, we will be at the schoolhouse for the Flag Day ceremony, because we'll have the color guard there to raise the flag, and we can do that at either place. And of course, Veterans Point is a perfect place to have it.
It is.
I mean, on Flag Day, they have the full display of the 50 flags. There's only a handful of holidays during the year that they do that. So, you know, that's what Veterans Point was made for, was doing this kind of an observance, I think.
Again, Kinder with the Weldon Springs State Park Foundation indicates registration for the Youth Fishing Derby begins at 8:30 at the concession area. The Derby is from 9 to 11. Trophies will be awarded for first, second, and third places for the number of fish caught from the bank in 3 age divisions, 6 and under, 7 through 9, and 10 through 12. There is no registration fee. In the case of heavy rain or lightning, the Fishing Derby will be canceled. June is National Dairy Month, and during this month, the St. Louis District Dairy Council is celebrating the fact more and more dairy is being consumed. Monica Nyman with the St. Louis District Dairy Council points to literature out of the Dairy Herd Management publication, citing Circana, which notes sales of dairy milk increased in 2024.
So there was a recent article in the Dairy Herd Management, and it basically said that the sales of dairy milk, so fluid milk, increased about 2% overall in 2024. And so that research came from a firm called Circana. And basically it's saying that, you know, consumers are looking for foods that are giving them good nutrition. And so that's one of the reasons that they think that there's an increase in fluid milk sales. And, you know, just to kind of mention specifically with milk, so this does not apply to cheese and yogurt, but milk gives our bodies 13 different types of nutrients that we have to have every single day to function properly. So, you know, you kind of mentioned at the beginning the protein, you know, there's calcium, which most people are familiar with. Milk also provides zinc and phosphorus and vitamin D. So all kinds of things that our bodies need every single day to function properly. So I think consumers are just really a little bit more interested, number one, in where their food comes from. Milk is a locally produced food. And then also just what kind of nutrition, like what kind of nutritional bang for my buck am I getting? And it does give lots of nutrition for that 1 cup serving size.
Nyman believes the increase in dairy sales is an indication consumers are looking for more nutrient-rich foods, which dairy certainly delivers.
As a dietitian, I love that. I love to hear that, to hear people making changes and that sort of thing. My mom actually just recently got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And so now it's like the light switch went on and she's like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't be eating all these terrible foods that I've been eating for years. And now she's motivated because she wants to get off that medication. And sometimes it takes something like that to really change and pivot from what your normal was.
The St. Louis District Dairy Council has many great resources and information at its website, stldairycouncil.org. You can also follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Get news anytime from your computer or mobile device at DeWitt Daily News.